NBC News senior reporter Timm joins me now for more. So this is really a fascinating story and so important. Why has there been so much turnover in election workers?
You know, what we're learning from this data out of the Bipartisan Policy Center is that there's a couple of things happening here. First, of course, we can't ignore 2020. There was a pandemic, election denialism, conspiracy theories abounded. Election workers faced enormous scrutiny while overhauling their elections. And since then, we've all overhauled our election codes as a country in most states. Now, that, of course, has driven a lot of election workers to say, you know what, this is too much. I got to get out. But it's not the only trend. So we're also seeing in the data that smaller jurisdictions, the ones that have fewer voters and usually less staff running these elections, that turnover in those districts started well before President Donald Trump ever ran for office. So we know that there are both contemporary problems, like election denialism and the harassment and the scrutiny, as well as longstanding systemic problems, probably funding, lack of resources that helps these people in smaller jurisdictions run their elections. But when I talk to officials across the country, election denialism figures really strongly in how they talk about their experiences. Let's play the sound of someone in Cobb County, Georgia.
I have had hours-long conversations with voters, explaining every single thing and answering every single question and showing them everything I can. And they'll stand up and they'll say, "Thank you for your time, but I still don't believe you."
Now, Tate turned 30 this month. She's part of a new generation of election workers. She feels really strongly that it's her duty to her community to count the votes and to count them accurately. But it still figures into her every day. She said she checks her rear view mirror when she drives home every day to make sure she's not getting followed.
And it's striking and heartbreaking to think that someone is so scared when she's really just trying to be a person who's working for our democracy. But I also want to ask you, of course, what are the potential consequences of all this? If you have less election workers, could these elections be affected?
Yeah, you know, a lot of the incoming officials, they do have similar levels of experience to past elections based on the data we have. But we do know that when you have new people doing jobs, there's a learning curve. You know, these jobs rely heavily on institutional knowledge. I've seen firsthand in areas where they've had complete overhauls of the staff. Running future elections has been hard. I followed a county in Virginia, Buckingham County, where the entire staff all resigned last year. 2022 was tough for them. They were the last county in the state to report their results. They had to make corrections. It wasn't easy to get it done when you have a brand new staff.
Well, Timm, this is really great exclusive reporting and such an important topic that we'll definitely keep an eye on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.